For life.
I want to start this video off by stating real quick that this is all for entertainment purposes, okay? Nothing I say is to be taken literally or as the gospel. Actually, don't take anybody's word on anything as the gospel without first looking into the statements and doing your own research and due diligence, as well as using your own critical thinking. And what I'm going to say here, and the ideas and subjects I bring up they're going to be way on out there for some of you. So it's recommended you only view this if you have an open mind, please. And also, anything I say on here from here on out is allegedly. It's very important I make this clear so this video isn't flagged or taken down. Entertainment purposes. And it's all allegedly. I'm just trying to get these theories and thoughts out to those that may really enjoy and make use of them as we all struggle to get down to the truth on the things that make us go, And in this case, this is something that's made me go, for a very long time. Really, ever since I was a child, and I saw the news piece about it before the pay-per-view even ended, I think. But God, it's been so long since I've had television. I believe local news was at 9, right? But the pay-per-views didn't even end until 10. I know that I saw it on my local news around 9 o'clock. But I'm getting way off track here. Bottom line is, even as a kid, and hearing that newscaster lady tell me that one of my favorite wrestlers just died in the ring, even in the middle of what I would call a traumatic experience for a young child to hear, right? A hero, pretty much, just died. It seemed odd, and it had me questioning it, though, even as I sat there and stared at her still talking about it, just watching her mouth move. He fell from the rafters at an event called Freaking Over the Edge. Come on, I thought. Of course, you've already seen the title and the thumbnail, and you know this is about the death of what everyone can universally agree on here, I think. Both people that were in the business themselves and fans, people outside of the business. Owen Hart was one of the nicest and most genuine, not only pro wrestlers, but men ever. A true and absolute legend, and a favorite of many, many wrestling fans around the globe, especially in Canada, where they just consider the man a hero. And he's one of my absolute favorites ever. I actually think he was the most talented Hart brother, especially on the microphone. Now, I'm not going to go into Owen's background. This isn't a documentary video. This is a pro wrestling conspiracy video, and I just want to dive straight into what I believe. May very well be the truth. Vince McMahon murdered Owen Hart. Now, you're probably saying, no way, dude. You need to put the drugs down. He barely missed the referee and almost killed him too. It wasn't planned, you moron. Or some other half-baked, contrarian reply as you attempt to white knight for very, very evil people, or entities, or whatever they are. I really don't even know at this point. No, Vince McMahon murdered Owen Hart in an occult blood sacrifice ritual. There's just too many signs, too many predictive programming beforehand, and too much clear-cut evidence that that's the case. Allegedly, and for entertainment purposes. Of course. If you ask me, we can trace the start of it back to the 1994 King of the Ring, where Owen was crowned the King of the Ring, winning the then annual tournament. And I'm sure we remember his run as the King of Hearts. I believe the Illuminati, Vince, who is allegedly a huge skull and bones Mason, whoever gave Owen the King for a Day fool storyline for the world stage. Another one of their energy harvesting rituals, like 911 perhaps. I'm sure by now you've seen the conspiracy theory videos showing all of the predictive programming for that, right? And the Twin Towers. Oh, hey. I think Vince even took part in some of that too, didn't he? Along with The Simpsons, several commercials and whatnot also. Maybe a Die Hard movie too, right? Involved in this predictive programming for that event. If you're asking what an energy harvesting ritual is, well, to understand, you would have to acknowledge that this is only the physical realm, and beyond it lies a spiritual one that we can't see and a lot of us aren't aware of, don't believe is real. We also have our own energy, our life force. When we're put into states of depression, sadness, fear, we drop to our lower chakras, and spiritual entities are then able to latch onto and drain your energy. There may also be such a thing as portals that allow even more sinister evil spirits to enter our realm that are involved as well when enough negative energy is harvested. It's crazy, I know, but it's a thing, I'm sorry. For harvesting this energy, they are rewarded with material fame and success. If you understand this, then you will understand predicted disasters like 911 and like Owen's fall. Both blood rituals, both energy harvesting events, and both highly preceded by predictive programming. Now, what is predictive programming? May be your next question. This would be your towers falling on an episode of The Simpsons, or movie, or in some commercial. Are the mega powers talking about tearing down the cold steel of the Twin Towers and not stopping until they crumble down on WWF TV, 1989. All of this stuff, years or even over a decade before it actually happened, the actual event. It's leaving everyone these days thinking The Simpsons can predict the future. Did it with Don Trump. No, they're not predicting the future, they're writing the future. And high-ranking Illuminati, like The Simpsons creator and the staff over there on that show, and Vince McMahon, have the script. In some cases, they may even be the ones writing it, who knows? And just like the predictive programming is evident with 911, it's evident with Owen Hart's death. Let's look at the event poster for the 1996 Royal Rumble. On it, we see Diesel booting Owen Hart down, so we've got an image of a falling Owen Hart here, with "on the edge" and "you've been warned," both in bold, so you're sure to notice it, and clocks counting down. It's really weird, huh? It gets even weirder, though, when you look at what they did with the Coliseum home video VHS release cover. On that, we have Bret Hart, Owen's older brother, with the "you've been warned" again, but this time it's huge. It's literally right beside Bret and covers his whole upper body. Then, oh yeah, of course, there's The Undertaker. They've been using him in symbolism for all of their blood sacrifices in WWE through the years. I'll happily make more videos on all the different wrestlers if there's interest in this one. Please like the video, subscribe, and comment to let me know you want more if so. But this is eerie. And it's sick, just to be honest with you. Why did they do this? They have to. It's universal karmic law. They have to tell us beforehand. And with us, not complaining, not putting up a fight, not, just going with the flow with it, it's seen as we're agreeing to all of this that they're doing. But if you're not able to see what's happening, if you can't see through the veil, then you can never object to it. And I'm sure this was spaced out as far as it was, these different events with this Owen story, to not make things too obvious for fans at the time. As if Over the Edge wasn't questionable enough. Like I said, Owen Hart played the King for a Day fool role. All of the symbolism was there. He was even a known prankster backstage. And in the end, he played the Hanged Man. They even kept the symbolism there as he fell with a harness on from the sky, the rafters. You can question it all that you want. But if this doesn't begin to open your third eye, I don't know how to help you. You can also add to the list of reasons this may very well be so that Vince had a grudge against Brett, and this was a receipt for spitting in his face and punching him in the eye. That's one theory on it. Another one is you could say Owen had become too much of a problem after he refused several storylines and scripts, and he even went on national television saying that he didn't want his children to see him doing the things asked of him and that he does on TV and the things that the other performers do. So he doesn't let them watch. He doesn't let them watch the very flagship television show of the company that puts food on the table. That's rough. But I don't blame him. I wouldn't have wanted my children watching that trash at the time either, in retrospect. And all of those are true. They're true statements and are good theories that could be the reasoning behind Vince wanting to take Owen out. And all of them only strengthen my case that he did. And let's not forget the rumors that Owen may have still been alive after the fall and was murdered afterwards. There's rumbling that the ambulance refused to leave until another one got there, which is absolutely insane, as if everything else that happened that night isn't insane enough. They refused to leave until a group of angry wrestlers made them leave with Owen. Why would these blood sacrifices take place? Again, they harvest the negative energy and are rewarded in the material realm. Only months after Owen's death, McMahon was able to take his company public on the stock exchange. He instantly become a millionaire. Or, I'm sorry, a billionaire. He was already a millionaire, of course. The man that was responsible for the inappropriate equipment on Owen that led to his death, Bobby Talbert. Oh, he does all the stunts on Hollywood Dwayne and Super Cena's crappy movies. No, not blacklisted, not arrested for negligence and murder, like both he and McMahon should have been. No, he does all of the Hollywood work for Vince's 2 meal tickets. A promotion from the Illuminati and McMahon for a job well done. Those stories about him claiming to be a WCW rig man are just a lie, people. Wake up. He was placed there. And I want you to please think about this. The show went on. No immediate investigation on a murder scene. No, they let wrestlers go out there and wrestle on top of Owen's bloodstains. Many also claim Vince Russo was in on it, supposedly. His WCW contract, his reward. The great legendary Roddy Piper was one of those that thought so, or at least it seemed he did. But Piper interviewed Vince Russo very shortly before Piper's death on his podcast that he had. And while the two got along for most of the interview, things got heated when Owen got brought up. Most of Roddy's podcasts have become lost media, but I vividly remember this one and listening to it several times when it first came out. Personally, I really don't think so. Russo's WCW deal wasn't even for $1 million, was it? I mean, it's when you get over those $1 million deals that things get pretty sketch. And he's been the subject of ridicule in the business for decades now. He wasn't all that close with McMahon either, being one to constantly stand up to him. Russo was just used more like a creative workhorse slave by our evil antagonist Vince McMahon, who uh, he seems to have treated everyone like slaves. Was Bret Hart in on it? Because I see some asking this. I don't think so there either. Bret didn't sacrifice his brother. He already had fame and the WCW contract before this happened. And Bret Hart dearly loved Owen. I know he came back to the WWE around 2010, which leads you to believe that he forgave McMahon for everything, but I don't believe that's the case at all. The Bret DVD that came out around the time was originally going to be a hit piece before Hart agreed to come back. Similar to, but worse than, the Ultimate Warrior one. I believe Vince was going to completely tarnish Bret's legacy and hold every single piece of Bret's life work in his tape library to boot. He was going to financially destroy Bret Hart unless he played ball. To close it all off here, I want to state one more time, okay? Vince McMahon is a creep that loves to utilize people with blackmail. He's a sexual predator, a piece of crap, and a murderer. But this is all allegedly, of course. Okay? Bye bye now.